I woke up today and had a realization that I might actually be done with corporate America. Realizing the lack of agency I have over my life, realizing the amount of awful people that I've just been subjected to working under and working with. Like, yeah, I'm tapping out, honestly. So if you tapped out and you escaped this grind, like, I want to know how, like, now. Like, write it. I need everybody's stories.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
I hate when I tell someone, like, I'm tired of working, and they're like, but you're so young. Bitch, I've been working since I was 16. I'm 26. I'm over it.
Bro, I don't want to go to work no more. I think it's time to find a sugar mama and have somebody pay my bills. I think it's come to that because I'm sick of being that person that's paying everybody else's bills and take care of myself. So I need some like sugar mama advice, you know, somebody. I could be like Johnny Bravo for you, be like who, you know, but that's only if you want to be. I mean, DM, I'll have the application for you. Tell you what you need. There's a minimum age requirement, and I need to know what you make in your 401k and all that stuff, and what maybe like your ex-husband left you in like his retirement fund, and if he left you a few houses, I'll go live in the other one, you could live in that one, and yeah, we could live a perfect life separate, and you'll just take care of me, and I'll wave to you across the yard.
You know, I realized I was not meant to work with other people. People just do the weirdest things, man. I went into my office and there was actually a mouse running around in the office. If you know me, you know I do not like mice. And all my coworkers know that I do not like mice. I don't like rats. I don't like rodents. Yo, no lie, it took me like a week to get the mouse out the freaking office. Some way, somehow, like a couple days later, the mouse found himself back into the office. And I don't know what happened, but you know one of my coworkers actually caught the mouse in a cage? You would think she would take the cage and dump it in the bottom of the ocean or something. You know what my coworker does? Keep the mouse in the cage as a pet in the office. And she know I don't like mice. Now every day I go to the office, this girl's over here feeding the mouse, petting the mouse, like she named the mouse. I'm just done working with people, man, because people are gross.
$685 for my rent, $290 for my car, $146 for my car insurance, $200 for my credit card payments per month, $130 for my loan, $50 for my phone, $50 for my internet, $100 for my power, $120 for gas per month, $300 for food per month, $90 for my life insurance policy. That goes out to $2,161. I'll round down and say that's going to cost me $2,150 per month. If I divide that by 30, because most months have 30 days, that means I need to make $71.60 to be able to survive. How do I make $71.60 every single day? That's the plan. How do I make $71.60 per day?
Y'all, can we just really like get one more day off, or maybe like the rest of the week? Like, can the temperatures just stay like this so I can stay in the house? I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go teach nobody kids. I don't want to watch nobody kids but my own. Okay? I want to stay home. I want to be up under my boyfriend. I want to be up under my kids. I want to drink my coffee. I want to watch my YouTube vlogging shows. I want to be on Amazon. I want to drink my Red Bull from time to time. I need a little bit of energy. I can wash some clothes and just feel good about being in a cozy, warm space. I don't want to leave the house. Like, help me.
The reason y'all are quitting your 9-to-5s or not pursuing 9-to-5s to begin with in the name of pursuing content creation or being an influencer is not because you actually aspire to be a content creator or an influencer. It's because you're lazy and you don't want to work. And no matter how many times the content creators and the influencers that you're literally aspiring to be like get on this platform and every other platform and tell y'all, hey, this is work. It is not easy, especially in the beginning. I did this for years as just a hobby and was consistently posting, made $0. And then even when I started making money, it was chump change. Y'all still don't view this as real work. You still don't respect it as a real job or a real occupation. Therefore, when you're trying to escape adult responsibilities in life, this is the career that you run to. And don't get me wrong, I get it. I don't want to work either. But there's absolutely no excuse for having something like a pharmaceutical degree and then deciding, hey, I just don't want to work. And her parents are a lot better than my mama because she would have put my ass out that night.
Does anyone know what they're doing? I graduated nursing school in March and I don't want to be a nurse. I had a full ride through a hospital and I was supposed to work there for 3 years. And if I don't work there, I have to pay all my college back. But I don't want to work there or be a nurse. But I don't know what I want to do. I have like this crazy urge that I'm young, I'm like independent, like alone, and I can do whatever I want. And so I know for the next however many years, I don't want to just go to work every day. Like I want to do something bigger. But I have like no idea, and I have to pay back like all this money. I think I literally have to make this decision in 3 days. And I've had it in my mind that, like, I'm paying it back, I'm not being a nurse, but now, like, the numbers are hitting me, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, I thought after college, it would be, like, the best life ever. And I literally just have no idea what I'm doing. Like, each day I'm like, what? I don't know what to do. I'm alone. Like, I feel lonely sometimes, even though, like, sometimes I feel super independent, and I'm, like, happy. I'm, like proud of myself, but this makes no sense. This video is like trash, but am I alone or does anyone else feel this way?
And for all of you old people running around here talking about, well, the youth, they just don't want to work. Well, guess what, bitch? In 1983, I made $13.50. I was a box boy for a month until I went to checking school. $13.50. There are people who aren't making $13.50 now. Look how long ago that was. That was 43 years ago. And people are still not making $13.50 an hour. But yet these establishments are making millions of dollars. And then you guys have the nerve to run around and say, oh, the young people don't want to work. Oh, look, they're looting. They're looting. They're looting. Well, guess what, bitch? The billionaires and corporations are looting too. They're not just taking TVs. They're taking millions and billions of dollars. And we're subsidizing them through our taxpayer dollar. But yet you ignorant motherfuckers want to sit there and look at some young person trying to get a TV that they can't afford. Grow the fuck up and get a pair of balls. You go work that job and deal with these ignorant ass people and see how you like it.
Older people love to complain about how kids have no work ethic or how younger people just don't want to work, how we're fucking lazy. Maybe because y'all don't fucking train us to do the jobs you're hiring us to do. Did you think about that? I shit you not, every fucking job I've had, I had to figure it out on my own. I'm 21. I've never actually been trained on any fucking job I've worked at. I've had like 6 jobs since I've been 16. Didn't get trained, not once. Not once outside of like a 20-minute window of watching someone else run a cash register and then being like, all right, that's it. Like one of the last jobs I had was this overnight stocking job. So it was from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And it was literally just unloading trucks, putting everything on the shelves, right? The boss that I had on the 3rd day was screaming at me because I messed something up because I wasn't trained on it, right? And after about a month, he started getting so angry with me because he wasn't training me. He was just mad that I wasn't doing stuff right. And when I got hired, the person that hired me was like, it's going to take you about 3 months to really get the full understanding of this job. And my boss, the night shift leader, he was like, I'm tired of babysitting you. You're just, you go to the bathroom and it just really bothers me. And I'm like, so me having to use the bathroom a few times during an overnight shift is considered lazy. And he was just saying literally that him training me, him doing his job felt like babysitting. And because he didn't feel like doing that, he was getting mad saying I was a bad worker. I'm like, dude, I come here, I do my job, I'm trying my best. You're not training me, so what else do you expect from me? And that's been at every job I've been to. Like, it's older people that's like, you're just not doing the job right. And it's like, okay, then why didn't you fucking train me on how to do that? And I know I'm not the only person that deals with that because every fucking person I know personally under the age of like 25, every job they've had, there's been some type of ordeal with an older person. Be like, oh, I'm going to have to write you up. Your work ethic, you're just, getting in trouble with management over something that the management and the people running the business failed to fucking do when hiring people. Like, if y'all want workers, then fucking train the workers. Stop hiring people and then giving them a uniform and then never speaking to them again, other than when you're firing them for not doing the job that you didn't teach them how to fucking do.
I saw a post that was like, people just don't want to work anymore. No one wants a job. No one wants to work these days. Obviously no one wants to work right now. You know why people work? People work because they can afford food. People wanted to work because it meant they could save up and buy a house, so they could afford health insurance, so they could send their kids to a nice school, so they could buy a nice car. That's why people work. That's why people go to work. That's why people want to work. These days, working does not get you most of those things. Unless you're one of the lucky ones, working a minimum wage job will not buy you a house. It will not buy you a nice car. It won't send your kids to a good school. Working barely even buys you groceries these days. If you've got a way of surviving without working, and working is only going to give you enough money to have the basic means of survival, why would you do it? There's literally just no incentive. Of course people don't want to work anymore if those are their options.
You know, people love to say that this new generation just doesn't like to work. But I don't think that's what it is at all. I think that this new generation just wants to enjoy the work that they're doing, and they don't want to have a job just strictly for the purpose of having a job. Okay, for example, I don't like my job. Okay, I'm in hospitality. Cannot stand hospitality, customer service, anything to deal with that kind of realm, because people are, I'm going to say my opinions, but I will say that my coworker who got her degree in hospitality, obviously the day-to-day isn't always like ready to go to work. There are some days that are just like, but she genuinely just enjoys hospitality. I just enjoy being a homemaker, and that's the job for me. And I feel like that should be okay.
I'm so sick of hearing this. So please, if you don't hear anything else I say, can you please take this 30 seconds and just hear this? I need more than 3 people to hear this today. First of all, it's not that people don't want to work. It's that people are tired of being underappreciated and they're unmotivated because of that. A lot of employees think that just because you pay a salary or hourly rate, that we're out here just taking whatever shit y'all bring to the table. And that's really not the case. It's not the case. Yes, you pay us money. Yes, there is a job that you expect us to do. But no, we are not taking your shit. That's not how this works. What y'all gotta understand is nowadays there are so many ways for people to make a living that they don't have to work for you. In most cases, it's a choice. Some people are just naturally not entrepreneurs and they don't want to start their own business because they don't want to manage that. And so they'd rather work a place that pays them an hourly wage or a monthly salary or whatever have you, because that gives them comfort. But again, that too is a choice. There are other ways that they could be making money to support them and their family. They choose you. The best part about it is that Gen Z got the keys. They are not letting you treat them like shit. They are not taking any of this that y'all are trying to give them, and they are not being underpaid. They're not being overworked, etc., etc. They do not have time. That is why they are leaving you. So as employers, you need to make it your priority to figure out how to be a good employer, because these people don't want to take your shit no more. End of story.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
What is wrong with people today? We have so many job openings in Butler Waste, our waste. We have openings for drivers. We will have a driver come in, we will sit down, go through the whole interview process, or from the job. They fill out the paperwork, and then they don't show up to work. That's happened to us like 3 times in the last 3 weeks. They come in, they spend the time, spend my guys' time doing the interviews. They just don't show up. So now, carpenters, we hire carpenters. So the ad that I put on for carpenters, and I write the ad personally, I'm very, very specific for carpenters, because, and the home remodelers, because I want to make sure we're not hiring people with baggage, with personal problems. Now, I like to hire family people who have families. Why? Because you think, common sense, they have to provide for their family. So they'll show up to work every day, want the overtime that's offered. So I do like to hire family people. I will adjust for transportation for kids and stuff like that, doctors visits, because I had to do that when my kids were younger. So I understand that. So I like to hire people with families because I know they should be the hard workers and the more responsible people. And they really are. I find that the single people, the divorced people, older people, they're the ones that have the bigger problems. They're a little bit more independent. They won't show up. They won't call out. I had one guy. He was coming in at 7 in the morning. He was disappearing between 9 and 11 for a couple hours. We figured it out a week into his job, and found out that he was leaving, driving his wife to work, getting breakfast, and coming back to work. So obviously, he's gone. I have another one where I wasn't happy with his job performance, so Andrew said to me, "Hey, Jeff, let's stop by and check on so-and-so, see how he's doing." Well, actually, his first name was Chris. Let's check on Chris, see how he's doing. Well, we show up to the house that he's remodeling, and we can't find him. And I walk into a bedroom, and he's in there with a girl. Whether she's a prostitute or not, it wasn't his wife. So that was a problem. So Andrew was very upset because he was the one who encouraged me to go check on Chris to see how good he was doing. And that's what we walked into. So I didn't say a word. I walked out, I sat in my car, and in my car, I could hear Andrew screaming at Chris that he screwed up because Andrew brought me to show him his job. And that's what we saw. I walked in with him with the girl in the bedroom. So that was interesting, but that's what's happening right now. It's very difficult to get good, mature people that will show up to work and do their job.
People do not want to work. Man, I know the world isn't easy right now, but oh my gosh, if you're at work, do it with excellence. And if you don't like it, find a different job. I'm sick and tired of being treated like I'm the problem when I ask workers for help when that's their job. I was just at a grocery chain store here, and I went to the other location that I'm not used to, so the meat area did not have the display with the meats out. So the butcher in the back was acting so bothered that I was standing there waiting for him to wait on me. Ben was even more bothered that I didn't know all the details of the thickness of the steak that I wanted it cut, all the things. Does it look like I'm a steak connoisseur? If that was my job, I'd be behind there doing your job, and I would be educating people, and I would be doing it with excellence. Yesterday, we had a massive power outage in our state from a crazy ice storm. Thousands of people still without power a couple days later. So yesterday, I was calling around to see what restaurants were open because oddly enough, some people did have power and some people didn't. So when I called a specific place to find out if they were open, he answered, so I said, "Hi, I was just checking to see if you guys were open." And he's like, "I answered the phone, didn't I?" And then he hung up. Just because you answered the phone doesn't mean you're open. Some people are in, doing inventory, preparing food. I don't know. What has happened to human decency? There's some days I don't want to be at my job. And guess what? I service the public. I'm a hairstylist. And sometimes I'd like to tell people to fuck off, but I can't because I'm there to service them and make their experience a good one. I know life is hard, but some of y'all need to find joy or find a different job.
I'm so tired of people telling me nobody wants to work. Stop saying that, okay? My partner has a job it's coming to an end. They're no longer funding it, and he knows he has to get a job by a certain date, and so he's starting ahead of time trying to find a job. Okay, the amount of jobs that he has applied to is outrageous. Is absolutely outrageous to start with. Okay, the amount of ones that he has had a second interview, a third interview, being introduced to a team, and then said, "Oh, sorry, you didn't get the job." Or this last time this job, they took forever to get back to him, and he had already applied to other places. He's already started processes of hiring to places, and they finally call him back, and they're like, "We're so sorry it took us so long. We think you're an amazing candidate for this job, but unfortunately, we've decided this job isn't gonna be a job anymore." Like, what do you mean? Like, you spent weeks looking at people, and you probably fed that same line to so many other people because of conflict. People don't like to deal with conflict. Okay, so who knows if he really was going to be the person they picked or not, because it doesn't matter because the job doesn't exist anymore. Okay, he applied to one job that they were like, "Oh, we think you're amazing." They took him all the way, like I said, to third interview to hire to the team, and then said that they couldn't hire him because there was only one person. They picked someone else, and then they posted the job back up, and he can't even reapply to it, although I don't know why he would want to reapply to it. But the insanity, they're dissolving jobs, they're working people too hard so that they don't have to pay other people. And then, like, what is this, like a masquerade of just like having interviews just to like look like they're hiring? I'm so sick of it.
She is absolutely right. These jobs put you through the ringer so many times. It's either one thing or another. People just want to work. They want a short and sweet and smooth interview process and actually get hired after all of that work. But no, it's either one thing or another.
These kids don't want to work today. They just don't want to work. Ask anybody. Except I'll tell you what, when I was 19 years old, I worked at Applebee's. and I could pay my rent for my apartment that I split with a few buddies. I could put gas in my car. I could get food. I could get a haircut once a month, and I could go to the bar for a quarter beers every Wednesday, man, you know? So I'm telling you right now, these kids, to get an apartment, you need first, last, and a security deposit. The rent's $2,800 a month, and you need a 750 fucking credit score. You know, they can't afford fucking anything. So maybe they don't want to work, or maybe they just figure, what's the fucking point? You know, maybe I'll just stay in my fucking mom's basement and drive Uber Eats every time I want to fucking go to the weed store.
So this is part of my job series where I talk about all the jobs that I quit, and I almost quit job number 4 today. So first and foremost, I already have to get there 15 minutes before I'm allowed to clock in so that I can answer COVID questions on my phone and get my temperature checked. On top of that, when I got there today, they failed to open the door for at least 10 minutes, meaning I only had 5 minutes to take my temperature, answer my COVID questions, and clock in before I was considered late. Then when I went to clock in, I couldn't clock in, but it gets better. As soon as the doors are open this morning, I get told that I am not a responsible employee because I didn't answer the phone to come in and work the days that I wasn't scheduled because of management's failure to schedule adequate people to fulfill the shift's needs. I am not responsible for your poor management. Y'all really don't understand who I am. I am crazy like my mother, and I will go off on you and walk out, and you will have nobody to run the cash register, and I'm also a job hopper like my daddy. I will find another one by tomorrow. If anything, I know the hospitality retail store that I worked in misses me to pieces. I will go back to them. Stop playing with me with your high interest rate credit cards and brand name affordable.
You know, one thing I will never understand is how guys can get to the big ages of 18, 19, 20 and have never worked a singular day in their lives. Because honestly, I just want to understand, is it that you don't like working, you're too lazy to work, or you just like free handouts from your parents? It's one thing if you can't find a job, fair enough. But if you refuse to actually work and you want free handouts, I'll be honest, you're just a bum. Regardless if you're going uni or not, like you've never done one single part-time job in your life. At the big ages of 19, 20 years old, that's crazy. Seriously, do these people not feel a little bit of shame when they're asking their parents for 10, 20 pounds here and there?
So I get up this morning and I go to the gym. I'm just trying to be a little bit healthier than yesterday. I ain't trying to make no big leaps and bounds and shit because I'm still going to drink beer and dip snuff, but I'm trying to be a little bit better person than I was yesterday. So I got up, got my ambition, got my pre-workout, and off to the gym I went. Now I'm in there and I'm about 10 minutes prior to drinking my pre-workout, which means I can see sounds and smell colors. Okay, I am zeroed in on my workout, got Jelly Roll blasting in my AirPods. I'm fucking ready. Well, there's this dude in the gym who's been working out around the same time as me for like 2 years now. And I know his name, but I'm really not that invested in his life because I really don't give a fuck. Well, he comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, buddy." I said, "What's up, man?" Took out my fucking AirPod, which pissed me off. I said, "What's up, man?" He said, "You look like shit." I said, "Okay, fuck your soul too. How about that?" In a joking way, we were kind of just bantering back at each other. He said, "Nah, man, what's going on? You look rough." I said, "Man, I'm fucking tired. You ain't tired?" He said, "Hell no, I ain't tired. I sleep like a baby." And I asked him, I said, "What do you do for a living, buddy? I've never asked you before." He said, "Oh, I'm disabled. I don't have to work. I live off my disability check." I said, "Hold up there, rascal. You in here doing one-legged box squats and you're disabled." He said, "Yeah, I'm disabled. I can't work. But you're in here benching 225 for sets of 12, doing box squats, 70-pound dumbbell lunges, you know, pull-ups, all this. What exactly is wrong with you?" He said, "Oh, I got hurt on the last job site, and ever since then, they just deemed me disabled." I said, "Okay, let me explain something to you, buddy. You're the worst kind of fucking person in the world. I hate you right in front of everybody at the gym, straight up and down. Because for all you people out there that keep on asking why most of us look tired, we look tired because we're constantly doing y'all's job. Okay, when you show up to work every day and you know when you're going in that if everybody on payroll shows up, you're still going to be shorthanded. You know that the first 3 hours of your day, every day, you're going to be on the phone with suppliers trying to find some kind of material to do your job with, and they can't get it to you because all the shit is locked up in fucking California sitting in the ocean. Every day is stressful. So for those of you that sit on your ass and wait on your check, don't bother the rest of us because we're picking up your slack. Every day we wake up and we choose to make this nation run. You're living off of the results of our hard work. You are the worst type of person possible. And the fact of the matter is, y'all don't see anything wrong with it. Y'all have no issue at all just sitting on your ass while the rest of us are killing ourselves to make sure that our nation doesn't go bankrupt. But you don't care Why? Because you don't care about anything but what you care about and yourself. That's why you let electronics raise your kids. That's why your kids act like fucking idiots. But it's okay though. Sit on your ass, wait on your check. Don't worry. These Red Wings and everything, we'll take care of it on the job site. Please enjoy your free check. Brought to you by the Red, White, and Fuck You. That is absolutely terrible. To those people out there sitting out there waiting on a check, and I'm not talking about if you're disabled. If you are disabled, I am proud to work for your disability. If you're an Army veteran and you got hurt in battle, my hat is off to you. I love you and I will always support you. But if you're one of these people milking the system, sitting at home and living off our tax dollars, I hope you step on a Lego, your first 10-pound bass breaks off at the boat, and I hope Chick-fil-A gets your damn order wrong. Shit.
Let me set this straight. It's not that we don't want to work. It's that we don't want to be overworked and not get paid to do the job that y'all make us overdo. Pay us the money and we're going to be all right. But give us the money. Stop trying to overwork us.
We're going to try this again without me flying in hot while I was trying to dodge road construction in Waco to get to College Station and getting money requests from people who don't work. Number one, I don't feel sorry for people who don't work. If you're able to work, get off your butt and go get a damn job. I've been broke, and what empowered me was working as many damn jobs as I could. 2 or 3 jobs for my entire life, because you know what? Work was rewarding. I got paid. So if you're not working and you're complaining that you don't have any money or you need cigarettes, you need to understand the definition of need and want, okay? You don't need cigarettes. Stop smoking. You can't afford to smoke. Get a job. Do what the rest of us do. I've been broke, I've been down and out, and I got 2 or 3 jobs. I worked until I couldn't work no more, okay? I worked 7 days a week. My husband's over 70 years old. He works. Cindy's husband's over 70 years old. He works. We've been so broke and dumb because nobody told us about food stamps that we literally stole food for Leanne on several occasions from the Safeway about 40 years ago. And then when we had money, bought it from the same store to repay our debts. So if you're sitting on your butt and you got a chair to sit in, sell the chair. Sell the chair. In 2009, we created Texas Twins Treasures. You know why? To sell all of our shit, because real estate tanked. My husband didn't have a job. About 30% of my income goes to the IRS. And we sold everything we had to keep our houses. I've lived without electricity because I had to make the choice between paying the light bill or keeping a roof over my head. So if you haven't had to make those hard choices and you're sitting on your butt complaining, I don't have any money, I don't feel sorry for you. If you're holding a sign saying, well, I need this, and you can work, I don't feel sorry for you. Seriously, I don't. Because you are part of the problem. You're your own problem. People don't owe you shit. You owe it to yourself to get off your ass and go get a job. Go get a job. Nobody owes it to you. And if you're an adult and you live at home, you need to be paying rent. Your parents did their job. If you're over 19 years old, start chipping in. They don't owe it to you to offer you a free living for the rest of your life. No wonder you're driving a new car. You don't have to pay for shit. Grow up. Learn how to be an adult. But don't expect everybody else to pull up your dead weight, because we're tired, we're busy, and we're busting it paying our own damn bills. I just can't take it no more. Really, y'all, I can't take it no more. Stop being a bum. Start being an active member of society. Shit.
Story time, because the world is effed up. I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of insight into something today. There's been a lot of chatter going around the internet and in the news about people being upset that, you know, they go out to their favorite restaurants now and there's just a lack of service and there's a long wait and servers aren't wanting to come to work anymore and they're wanting to stay at home and live off of their unemployment checks. Let me give you a little background into this and hopefully you'll understand a little bit better why they're making these choices when I'm done. So for legal purposes, when I was like 18, 19, maybe early 20, I worked at a lovely restaurant called Schmappel Schmees. again, for legal purposes. And our managers that year had told us that we could request off for either New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, and that we were guaranteed to get one of them, but not both of them. And this is multiple parts, so you'll have to come back to part 2. I promise it's...
So let me break it down. What they're saying is you have everybody in their mama, uncle, sister, and cousin joining the healthcare profession, and they don't want to actually be doctors or nurses, CNAs, all whatever the fuck comes with that field. They don't want to do the job. They just want to get paid for the job. They want to enjoy the luxuries of being a nurse or whatever else you can be in the healthcare profession, but they don't want to do the job. They don't want to wipe the ass. They don't want to prescribe the medicine. They don't want to cater to the person. They don't want to make sure the person is getting taken care of, basically. They don't want to make sure. They just want to get paid. They want to enjoy the luxuries. They want the cars. They want the houses. They want all this shit here, but they don't want to do what it takes to get those cars and houses. I'm really convinced that a lot of y'all really just get on TikTok and y'all listen to these people whole ass videos and don't listen to comprehend. Y'all just listen and pick the smallest fucking point of the video, and that's what y'all want to spam these people fucking comments about. So I'm seeing a lot of videos where nurses are coming on and saying that a lot of these people are joining the nursing field or just any healthcare profession, and they don't have a passion for doing it. They're simply just joining the field for the credits of it. Like they want to wear scrubs, they want to have fucking little nursing bags, and they want to walk around with Stanleys and shit like that, but they don't want to do the jobs that come with being a nurse, a LPN, or RN, or a CNA. All in all, they don't want to do the dirty work. They just want the money. Every time I watch a person video that talks about this, I see people in the comment, it is about money. It is about money. I can dress and still do my job. And it's the fact that these people are not lying, because literally ever since I've been in high school, everybody and their mama, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a travel nurse, I want to be an RN, I want to be a CNA. Like, that's all you hear. And the people that you hear it from are people that literally don't like going to school. Girls that are mean as fuck. Girls that act like they hate life. But how the fuck y'all want to be nurses when y'all are going to have to be around people all day, every day? Like, y'all literally be illiterate as fuck and pick the smallest fucking things to pick from somebody's video and act like y'all don't fucking comprehend what them people saying out their mouth. When y'all understand clearly what the fuck these people trying to say. Imagine coming to work every fucking day where you coming in there to do your fucking work, but then you have all these people coming in this motherfucker and don't nobody want to do shit. But they're in a literal career field where you have to cater to someone, where you have to take care of someone. But they don't want to do shit, but they're expecting a paycheck. That's what the fuck she's talking about. Imagine being sick and you're sitting there in fucking pain and you're waiting on somebody to take care of you because you're sick. But all you keep getting is mean girl responses. Don't nobody want to come check on you. Don't nobody want to do their job. But it's nothing that you can do because these are the people that want to be nurses. We deal with this shit every fucking day where you go into a place of business or a hospital or anywhere you fucking go, and everybody got a fucking attitude because they don't want to be at fucking work. But they the people that chose that career. You chose to be this, but you don't want to be at work. That's what the fuck she's referring to. She's also referring to the fact that everybody in competition, but don't nobody want to be in competitions for the right fucking reason. So you want to come in here with the baddest fucking scrub on. You want to come in here with the baddest fucking Stanley, but y'all not competing to see who can be the best nurse or give their patients the best care. Y'all not competing for that. Y'all competing for the wrong fucking reasons. And that's the problem. That's what the fuck these people are talking about. You deal with this shit too fucking often, especially in the fucking medical field. You deal with it too often. These people, these women, these men don't want to come up here to work and be no fucking nurse and help out and make a change in their world for real. They just want to come up in this motherfucker and enjoy the luxuries of being a nurse. And for all the people that be like, oh, they don't make no money for real, they don't make no money for real. Yes, the fuck them people do. It's just about budgeting. It's about budgeting and knowing where the fuck to put your money and knowing where the fuck not to put your money. That's what it's about. You ain't gonna tell me these folks don't make no money, because yes, the fuck they do. All these people saying is, if you don't have a passion for helping someone, if you don't feel the need to take care of people when they're down, when they're feeling sickly, when they actually need help or on the brink of death, if you don't feel the passion to make them feel comfortable when they're on the brink of death or anything that's having to do with health, do not join the health profession, period. That's what the fuck they're saying. Because a lot of y'all bitches be mean girls and don't want to come to work and don't want to do y'all job. I understand a job is draining, but how y'all attitudes be? There's no excuse in the world for y'all to act the way that y'all act. And it's sad when you have actual nurses and actual people in the health profession coming out and making videos like this. They see this shit head on every fucking day. They interact with these people every fucking day. For y'all to come in the comments and tell them, oh, such and such and such and such and such and such, still not making no fucking sense. So how the fuck y'all gonna tell them what the fuck they're going through, what they're experiencing every day with people that don't want to fucking work?
That is the sad reality of things, honestly. A lot of the people in that field are just there for the money. They're not there because they care. They're not there because they want to make a change or whatever. They're there just because of the coin. And it's sad, man.
You know what? People are so lazy. No one wants to work anymore.
I get told this almost every single day from customers. I work at a store, and at any given time, there's only just my manager and one other person there. And it's just the one manager. She works every single day. Somebody inevitably will say, nobody wants to work these days when they see how hard the two of us are working. And that's not true, right? Like, everybody young knows that that's not true because everybody young is looking for a job right now. And nobody's hiring. They say they are, but they're not. People come into the store every single day and ask us if they can work there. Every single day. And I have to tell them no, even though there are signs up saying that we're hiring. It's because the company doesn't want to pay people any money. There's people that work there right now that wish they could work more hours, but the company's not paying them. Everybody wants to work. Everyone does. It's the companies that won't hire.
Can we just talk about this new generation's work ethic, or lack of work ethic? My favorite thing that I see on a daily basis in every management position I've held at multiple places over the last 15 years, well, not multiple, but like 4, is that you'll have people who want to work all these hours and they want you to schedule them for all these hours. But their availability sucks. Their availability isn't what you need, but yet you squeeze them in there somehow and you try to give them as much as you can. And then they get mad, resentful, and retaliate against you when those aren't met. Let me explain something. When you have full-time and part-time employees, your full-time employees are prioritized. Their hours are met first, and then you bring in your part-time employees and you fill in the gaps that you need. If your availability is this big, the hours available to you to work are going to be this big. So, yeah. The other issue is phones. I love my phone too. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't check my phone while I'm at work. I have checked my phone while I'm at work. But I'm not making videos. I'm not swiping through TikTok. I'm not Facebooking or reeling. I'm working. And usually I'm doing multiple things at once because that's what managers do. And when I look over and see someone just sitting there while I'm pouring sweat, busting my butt, and I see 15 things that need to be done, like right now. These aren't things that should wait. My store's a mess right now. We need to get these tote suckers. And you're sitting there scrolling away on your phone. And I say, hey, I see that needs done. Can we get that done, please? And you give me a thumbs up and then continue to go scrolling on your phone. That is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. Let me be the first one to tell you, I have not felt so disrespected in a long time as I did at that moment. I was polite, I was kind, and you just utterly ignored what I asked you to do, which is your job. Sitting, leaning, phone playing, hiding in the bathroom, that's not your job. Customer service is your job. Refusing to do the bare minimum of your requirements is poor work ethic. Choosing to call off consistently is poor work ethic. Choosing to be miserable at work and trying to make those around you miserable is poor work ethic. Asking for all these hours and you get scheduled for them and then call off on them, that's poor work ethic. There's other people that would have worked those hours. Shit, I would have worked them. And I already work enough hours. But all in all, I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm just saying, my generation, some of my generation, the next generation, the generations after that, please remember, you have to work. Sorry, my nose rings. I can't my nose. You have to work to pay your bills. You have to work to provide for yourself and your family and your pets and do all those fun things you want to do when you're not at work. My question is, how are they doing it? How? It makes me sad. It makes me very sad to see how little people are willing to do, how much they want people to give them. Very little has been given to me in my life. I have been blessed in many ways, but very little has ever been handed to me. I have worked my ass off, and I have fought addiction, I have fought mental illness, and I have fought myself. But I'm doing it, and so can you. So let's work on that work ethic. Let's work on being polite, and let's smile and have a good day. Thank you.
Does any other 30-year-old women, mothers,
30 and 34, not have hobbies that don't involve like their children or their careers. I don't. And I just quit my job. And I was asked, oh, you quit your job to be a stay-at-home mom? What kind of hobbies do you have to keep your sanity? I said, I like to watch my kids play sports. That's my hobby. They're like, no, aside from that, like not involving your children. I like to shop. Shopping is my hobby. But if I quit my job, that can't be my hobby. What am I going to do? I don't know how to grow things. I don't play sports. I only watch my children play sports. I'm not very artistic. I do hair, hair on the side, so it's a little bit of a hobby. Bringing a little money. I guess I could use that money to go shopping. But then again, it's not very fair that I use that money to go shopping when we're only going to be like a one-family income. What am I going to do? I mean, I guess I could start reading again, I guess. Help me find some hobbies. This wasn't well thought out. I need hobbies.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.